Okay, this is a test of the Google Hangout software. I literally just ran in the door from work, and so I'm here. I don't even know if anybody's showing up. I had a few people reply they were coming, but again, this is just a test, so it really doesn't matter. Um, with the interview series I have coming up, and I'm going to go about this even if no viewers come in, um, and really I've started on the dot early, which I know most people aren't usually on time. But all that being said, I'm going to go about this as if it was a genuine broadcaster interview. I have some announcements to do tonight. I got some things I want to do, and I'm just doing this as a sample. My interview series that I have, I've been posting on YouTube and cross-posting, I guess, to Facebook, is something that, as I've been receiving information, and I think I've told this story in one of my recent angel card readings. But the angels asked me to paint the angels. One of many exercises that I've been given recently was paint the angels, and I didn't fully understand why. And I believe now, as I reflect back in meditation, it wasn't that they wanted me to make an oracle card deck, so to speak, that I would try to market. It was more about unlocking the creative side of my brain. I'm very engineer-brained. I guess they say A-type. So they wanted me to really start unlocking that free-thinking, creative portion of my brain to help increase my funnel for information. And it definitely helped. Now they've moved on, and I felt very inspired to do this. So this is where we're at now. So part of this broadcast today, which will become my next YouTube post, is to officially announce the series. I'm sure I've posted 2 episodes already, so I'm sure many of you have already seen it. But I was given a number 8 for some reason, but I know that that's all relative, I guess is the word I'm looking for, in that however many it takes to run its course is how many there'll be. But for some reason, I was given a number 8, so there's going to be 8 initial episodes, I guess you could say season 1, of these interviews. So I'm doing primarily just because I do feel it's an exercise, and I'm not sure how far they're going to have me go with this. I focus primarily on some of the local light workers and angel workers in my area that I'm familiar with. I did actually reach out to a few of the online personalities, people who have a strong YouTube presence or things that resonate with me. So my first announcement, and to me it's a big announcement, I don't know, is Sarah Hall. So Sarah Hall has agreed to come on and do an interview, and she seemed as excited to be interviewed as I was to interview her. And Sarah Hall was kind of brought into my reality by Colleen St. Michaels of Angel Wisdom in Cherry Hill, and she's another interview I'll be conducting here at some point in the future. And in fact, if you look on my YouTube page, you'll see a media trailer that I put together for her from one of her events for some stuff she's moving forward with. But we've been communicating a lot with her, and she is an incredible angel worker, full open channel to the angels, the entire angelic realm. She gets readings. She does all sorts of great stuff. She actually mentioned Sarah Hall to us. Now, the funny thing is that Colleen resonates extraordinarily strong with Michael and Metatron. I resonate extraordinarily strong with Michael and Metatron, primarily Michael, but as this has been developing, Metatron has definitely been a strong purpose. And I think that's the case with most people doing this work, because Michael and Metatron are basically in charge of your life purpose. So it's only logical that they would be here helping us along and giving us the little nudges we need to pursue this work, which is our life purpose at this time when the planet's going through this shift. So she referred Sarah Hall to me to do, she does a lot of these incredible online meditations. Now, she's another young, quote-unquote, young YouTube channel, but she has some of the most incredible guided meditations, and I do a lot of them, that I have ever seen. Her voice couldn't be any more perfect for a meditation. She is just radiates an energy and a spirit that really has me feeling very uplifted every time I watch her. Excuse me, my distraction for 1 minute. I got to flip over to the Q&A tab in case someone's posting. I do see there is a viewer now, just in case someone comes over to post. I'm not saying who the viewer is, it's just telling me there's a viewer, but that's okay. So I got that tab open in case whoever you are viewing out there, if you click on the Q&A tab, there'll be a little chat column to the right of the screen that you'll be able to post questions as we go through here tonight. So as I was saying, she brought that into my reality, and I really enjoyed her meditations. Now, she is an active angel worker. She has a little office somewhere where she does readings and things. But it was the YouTube guided meditations that really resonated with me. I use them often. And when I'm doing these meditations, they definitely have connected for me. Not all meditations, when I do these guided meditations, really take me out and I'm gone. The few of hers that I've done several times each now really seem to get me connected. And I don't know if that I have that connection with her, because where I was going before I got off track was she also resonates most highly with Michael. So I used the term with her. They gave me the term. We were all sons of Michael, or children of Michael. So I don't know if that's why I was kind of brought in to have her come into my reality, but I'm glad I did. And so she'll be coming up in October 7th, I think, is when I'm interviewing her. So it'll be posted shortly after that, probably within 24 hours of that. So that should be an interesting interview. We're going to talk about kind of how her journey got started, what led to her coming into service as an angel worker, what inspired her to do guided meditations on YouTube. That seems to be primarily what her videos are. And so we're going to focus in a lot with that on her guided meditations, as well as what she has coming up in the future and where she's going from here. So they're one of my, what I consider my bigger name interviews. Colleen St. Michael's, as she goes by, Angel Wisdom in Voorhees, I said Cherry Hill, Voorhees, New Jersey. Incredibly gifted angel communicator, angel worker. She will also be coming up. We are still trying to fit that into our schedule. Colleen, unfortunately, her father has been having some health issues. So we had a time slot, but obviously it fell through because family is always the most important thing in this world. So we'll catch back up with her and go over her journey and her angel communication and kind of what she does. I'm trying to bring in people who do key things, like specific things within what I call angel work, light work, what have you. Because of what my channel is, I prefer to really focus on angel workers. But it's whatever the universe hands me. So up already is Eileen Bates, pendulum use, and how it really turned more angelic, and how the archangels worked with her to give her close to 100 symbols now she's working with. Language, full language with the pendulum, and it's always growing. Every person she reads, she develops a new symbol. That person has a unique situation or challenge in their life, and they teach her a symbol that represents that challenge. So it's ever growing, and in fact, I guess premature as it may be, I guess I'll be the one to announce that I will be assisting Eileen and our very good friend Mandy DiPietro, as they will be starting doing readings on YouTube. I shouldn't say readings, I should say forecasts, I guess. They are starting their own reading of the week channel. Well, the channel exists, but this is going to be the feature of the channel. So they will be doing their own reading of the week, but it'll be done by pendulum, and they'll be working together. Not sure what any titling or anything's going to be yet, but Mandy is certainly talented beyond what she knows already, what she accepts already. And I think good things are going to come of that. And she's another incredible energy. We've been so blessed with all these incredible energies that have come into our reality lately, as we've accepted our role as angel workers. And so I'll be very excited to see where that goes. I'll have to be a little hands-on since I'm like the tech guy, so to speak. And we'll see what happens with that. So it probably won't be in the immediate future, but in the near future, I'll be cross-promoting it on my YouTube page, Advanced Angel Cards, as well as the Facebook page, facebook.com/Advanced Angel Cards. I asked my daughter to be kind of quiet as she's coming in and out of her room. I'm sure you just heard that door slam. What can you do? So I'm not sure if, as these 8 episodes progress, where it's going to go from there. But I certainly will probably have Mandy and Eileen back in here together to do an additional interview to the 8 interviews, just as kind of like the official launch of whatever it is they come up with. Now, nothing set in stone. This is just a rough outline, a rough idea. And I'm nearly certain with all the readings of the week you see on YouTube and Facebook, I don't know that I've seen anybody do a pendulum-driven, intuitive forecast for the coming week, much less, I guess you should say, dual pendulum readings. And we're not sure of the logistics of that yet, if I'm going to have to wire up 2 cameras or just have them be like I'm sitting here now and you'll kind of see what you can see and just get the information. I know when I do my weekly oracle card readings, I like to do it digitally so you get a really nice clear picture of the card scrolling up the screen, because for me the imagery and all is really important. But in the end, if I'm sitting here now and I just decide to reach over and draw a card for whoever needs a message right now, whether you really look at that card or not is irrelevant, because I'm delivering the message that the angels are giving you. And so that's where we still have to worry about the logistics of that. And I'm just, as I'm saying this, I'm literally just grabbing cards and shuffling. So I'm going to draw a card. So whoever sees this live or on the rebroadcast, maybe gets their information or a reading that they need. So these are the new Doreen Virtue, Radley Valentine. I love Radley Valentine. Well, I love Doreen. Not knocking Doreen. But Radley Valentine is an incredible man. He co-authored all the tarot decks with Doreen. He was one of the guys I worked with more directly during the certification courses, the Advanced Angel Cards Reader and Advanced Angel Cards readings, as well as he did a personal workshop by himself as a follow-up to those classes. And I just love him. I love them both. Doreen is very, very much. I'm trying to think of the responsible way to say this because it's not negative at all. I guess she is so mainstream and so popular, it's tough to ever communicate with her directly if it's not in the midst of something that's been arranged. Whereas Radley, I feel like I can reach out to on his page, on his radio show, and I have several times, and spoke to him one-on-one and got personal information, personal advice. In fact, when I launched Advanced Angel Cards, he gave me a personal endorsement for the Advanced Angels cards. He posted a couple of times, he commented on some things, and that really meant a lot to me because, I mean, he is out there on a Hay House tour, just like Doreen, doing everything else, but I think it's still new enough to him that he's still giddy about it, and he's excited about it. So if you ever hear me talk about Radley Valentine specifically, it's not that I'm excluding Doreen. It's just I personally have what I feel to be I don't want to say that, but I worked more with Radley. Doreen was kind of there for the class, but I worked with Radley. So it's just today, that's where I feel the connection. And I listened to his show and all. So it was a for the record thing. I don't want anybody to think I am putting down or neglecting Doreen. She is incredible. She started this whole journey for me. She will always be somebody that I admire for the work she does. I just have a more personal connection with Radley, and it's not even a personal connection. If he saw me on the street, he probably wouldn't know who I was. It's just there's been more direct communication with us. He's given me some pointers on things, so that's all it really means. I don't know why I had to go, and I felt very strongly as I was saying, I had to be careful and really defend what I was saying, because there's a lot of people out there that would be very upset if they heard me, what they interpret it as me putting down during, and that's not what I'm doing at all. So, messenger of thought. So now the thought suit is traditionally the air suit or swords, and it's our thoughts and how our thoughts are influencing our actions. So in this particular card, it says, now the messenger of thought is one of the court cards. It would be like the page in traditional tarot, I guess. So court cards always come with little descriptive terms, and usually that's so it brings someone to mind to you. So that could be who this message is in relation to. So the message reads, a new topic or intellectual project is really exciting for you. This sounds like it could be from my friend Mandy, who I have a suspicion that one viewer is. There's so much to learn before you feel ready to move forward. New information may require changes to your plans. Review all documents carefully. You know, will meet or are someone who loves to learn and share knowledge. This person is brilliant, truthful, but also blunt and not very diplomatic. So as you're moving forward, basically the root of this message is, and I'll try to hold the card up for you to see the artwork on it. These cards are very Victorian, but they have a very Norman Rockwell-ish feel to them. Some of the images look like they could be right out of the Saturday Evening Post, if you know what that is. The core message of that is, don't let your excitement of this new project cloud your judgment to the commitments you're making. Be cautious, not because there's something to fear, but not knowing where this project may take you. You want to be in the right position from the start. So either the person you may be getting involved with or a person that's involved in some other manner or fashion to the situation may be a very blunt, opinionated person. Sounds like me. But it's not that they're unfair or unjust or out to get anything, but that's something that you have to take in consideration as you're moving through this, of kind of coming up with a game plan for that. They're not warning you not to get involved. They're just giving you the heads up that you may have some conflicts of interest or butting of heads, and to kind of be prepared for that to happen. And more than anything, you almost have to be over diplomatic to make up for the lack of diplomacy being exerted by other people in a potential situation. It's kind of like you may have to give more than you may want to get over that hurdle, and then kind of put things back in place on the other side of that. Is just kind of what they were giving me for that one. So however that relates to whoever may see this, I hope it does. I tell you what, this was happening to me on my interview with Lisa Hopp. I feel that my little space, I call it my 10 by 10 cube of Zen, or my 10 by 10 den of Zen. It's actually not even 10 by 10. I think it's like 10 by 9 or something, but it sounds good. I cleanse the space, I energize the space, I have crystals all about. I do all my energy work in here, my meditations in here, and now my webcasting from in here. And there is this something very high energy about this place, but something has been going on. The last 2 times I've been in here, the energy has been incredibly high. So much so I get what I call the cobwebs, which is you feel like there's something on your face, and you're scratching and picking and twitching. It's really the energy. It's like a tingle on your face. And I'm having it again today. Now, I actually doing this, not knowing what was going to come, not knowing if anyone was even going to show up. I actually sat here and didn't set a specific intention of any energies to particularly come in or come through. But I think I'm at a point now where I'm kind of connected throughout the day now. And I think I'm at a point where I should say I am language, Revocabularize your life. I don't know if I even said that right. That's a term I was given. That's something we'll be going over in a future episode about vocabularizing your life, because your language dictates your reality. So I'm not going to say I think. I'm going to say I am more routinely connected, and I do not have to sit and focus so hard to connect at this point. I'm going to make that statement as a truth so that it will be a truth. And that's apparently what has been happening lately. So I don't have to go through a whole ritual and routine to connect, it seems. So I think just knowing I'm going to be doing the work I was doing tonight, and knowing I was hoping to bring some messages through, they've just been with me stronger than ever. And in this particular room, I get those cobwebs. So moving on back to the interviews. So we did Lisa Hop, which was an incredibly gifted local medium, but she does readings for people all around the world. That's Lisa Hop, Hopp. She's on, I think, Facebook as Lisa M. Hop. She has a studio called Serenity Harbor, and her website is www.serenityharbor.com, or it'll backlink to that website if you do www.lisahop.com. That's Hopp. And she performs all sorts of services. She too is a Reiki master. She also does. She brings angels in with her on all of her healings, because that's just how she works. She exhibits all the clairs, which I don't want to be that person that says, well, this psychic's better than that psychic. Typically speaking, we all have the clairs. We all have all of the clairs. But depending on where we are in our journey and what we've let our resistance down to, most quote-unquote gifted psychics, I don't like that word either, honestly, most gifted mediums, or however you want to phrase it, seers, usually have like one or two that are strong, and then they kind of get hints of the others here or there. Lisa is full blown on all five. I mean, if anybody who is a believer in this out there, and you watch things like Long Island Medium, Teresa Caputo, she is, I mean, that's her. That is Lisa. It is amazing. And on top of all the clairs, she's been gifted some other wonderful abilities, such as medical intuitive. So she can actually scan your body with her eyes and see these hot spots where things may be going on. It's not that she's a doctor. She can't tell you, well, you have cancer of the bladder or whatever it may be. But she could say, hey, there's something going on in that area. It's something you may want to touch base with your doctor on or whatever, because so often people are not symptomatic of a pretty serious underlying issue. So you go for a life coaching session or a medium session or even a Reiki healing session, she can shoot down your body and be like, well, there's something going on here, there's something going on there. And I bore witness to that firsthand. I mean, she saw a couple of things that was going on with me at the time that I was not symptomatic of. They weren't serious major things, but it's stuff that if you don't address, sooner than later, Lord knows what could happen. So that was the second interview I did. And we went over kind of brief of her history and then the services she supports. And she is also an author. She does have a book coming out. It's actually, we discussed it when she was here. It's actually very much a situation of she wrote a book, and then that book kind of transformed, and she basically had to write another book from her experience with cancer and how that transformed her to who she is today. And she really, I mean, she was an incredible person before, and she's even more of an incredible person now, not to take away from who she was before, but I mean, she's one of the only people I've heard almost say, thank God that I got that cancer. She's so positive about it and understood from the beginning that this was part of a transformation that she had to go through to be the best Lisa she could be. Incredible person. So that interview is already up. So there are 4 interviews that are going to be absolutely 100% booked and done. 2 are done. The 2 are pending. Sarah Hall, which will be, like I said, the first week in October, like October 7th. It should be up October 8th. And then we're still trying to work on a date with Colleen. Now, what else did I want to touch base on here during this test? Dead air, that's never good. Oh, I know what we can talk about briefly. So I'm doing this Hangout as a test, again, for some of the interviews that I'm going to be doing with some of the YouTube personalities. There are probably 3 or 4 other names I could throw out, but I don't want to be premature on that. There's some logistical things we're working on to make it happen. As far as times we can get together, 2 of the people need a clearance to do the interview because they're kind of bigger names and they have to go through publicists or whatever. But I was surprised actually. I did get some people that I didn't think would look to someone of such small potatoes as myself and be like, yeah, I'd give you an interview. But a couple got back to me, but it's a wait and see situation. But I'd be very excited if I get any of those people, just because these are all people like Sarah Hall, like Colleen, like Lisa, like Eileen, that I look to and I admire, and I've utilized the knowledge that Dave shared with me to better myself and be here doing this with you now. So I'll have to wait and see what happens to those other 4. Now, there is one other interview that has been booked. We're waiting on some dates to finish. My Reiki master teacher, Heather Barone, well, it's Heather Barone Nelson, but in her network of community, she's known as Heather Barone. She was my Reiki master. She mastered me, and I have now, went on to teach some of my own students. She's a Reiki master. She is an essential oils expert. She has a lot of insight that's a little more outside the box than just your everyday, maybe energy worker. She has done a lot in her life with oracle cards and goddess cards, and kind of gone in areas that I'm trying to give away too much. I'm not sure how much she's going to share with us, and it's nothing bad or dark, certainly. But she I think decided in her life what was right with her, and which is so important that you find that groove and find that happiness and that joy to where you're very much, wow, this is who I am. This is the genuine me, and I'm going to be that person. And I think we all struggle with that, and even those of us that think we're doing it have times of doubt and all. And in that process, I think sometimes we try this or we try that. And so for her, and again, I don't want to speak too freely on anything, and it's not even anything major. I never want to overstep my bounds what someone wishes to share or chooses to share. But she's really been a person who has enlightened herself to have a more out-of-the-box understanding of the truth of what we would call God in the universe, and that's enabled her to experience different facets of faith and different faiths, for that matter, to really kind of bring her full circle to where she is comfortable right now. And she's another incredible energy. I feel very blessed that she's been in my life. So she is one of the interviews we'll be doing. And I'm doing it for her to really focus on Reiki and the services that she performs at her studio. So she's going to be my Reiki person, so to speak. And then the other person I do have on standby if I need one. And it's not that she doesn't want to come in, but she said she'd do it as a standby situation, is a wonderful woman by the name of Lauren Lee. And she is another one with just an incredible life journey. She is born and raised Catholic, but at a very young, or I should say young age, I guess in her teenage years, chose to live her life as a fully functioning pagan. I don't know if she identifies herself as Wiccan. She may, but I know when people hear Wiccan, there's some people get a weirdness about it because you have your people who were Wiccan for their sophomore year in college. It was like a phase. And I think a lot of people that kind of rubs them wrong. I'm not sure how exactly she identifies, but it has been her genuine religion, and she is another one who is amazingly connected to the concept that we are all one, and it's in the end all the same God. So it's foolish to label and foolish to this and foolish to do that. She resonated very much with the earthly nature of Mother Earth and Earth magic. So that's where she went, and her whole family was raised that way. And they're all just incredible people. In fact, her daughter works with the Jim Henson people, doing puppeteering and all. Just incredible, amazing stories that come out of her family. And she's going to come in as my tarot person. Die-hard, real, traditional Rider-Waite tarot. We'll go over some cards, some imagery, some meanings, some messages, and she may, if she decides to open up and talk more freely about, growing up pagan, as I termed it, just how it made life different. It's like if you're different at anything, or kids may have had a little tougher time in school. It's not that their life was different or difficult. That's how they lived. It's no different than me saying, well, being a Christian is difficult. For me, it's not difficult. But sometimes when you're in a atmosphere like a school or something, and certainly things can be very different for you and the people around you and how they're treating you. So Lauren will very potentially be one of my other interviews. So I very much want to interview her, and if I have to extend this to 9 or 10, I would love to get her in here to do that interview, because she does have some wonderful stories to tell, and she is incredibly talented at the tarot. She is so connected and so good at just knowing, before the card's even all the way over, she already knows the message associated with it. She has been doing freeform for years now, to where, Celtic crosses, all that. She just, however spirits guiding her to throw them cards down, and 2 or 3 at a time, she just goes. And before you know it, almost the entire deck's on the table, and just incredible, accurate messages come through her. So I'll be very excited to see her come in here. And with that, there were a couple other things. Again, forgive me, this is supposed to be a test. I wanted a couple of people that are here. None of them they're all camera shy. None of them seems to have a cam up. I wanted to have some dialogue cam to cam to test the switching of all that. But that's okay. Maybe I'll do a private hangout with somebody, and we'll work that out. There are 1 or 2 other features here I did want to play with, so forgive me if I get distracted here. But I'm going to click around a little bit, and then we're going to do a 3-card reading, just to throw it out there for whoever sees this, that's supposed to see this, that's supposed to get a message. Well, obviously they'll be watching this to this point of the video, and they'll get their message. So let's see. This actually isn't what I was trying to share. So I just brought something up in the showcase. So on the Hangouts, you were to click, it looks like little yellow price tags, like 3 of them stacked up. That brings up the showcase. And then on the showcase, on the right-hand side, I can bring up the things there, like, for instance, let me bring up my website, www.angelcards.com. Yeah, there you go. So that's kind of neat. So I can, as we're doing this, and I'm doing like the hangouts with people, if I'm doing them publicly, I can actually bring up the people's websites. I click on show it, so it'll show it in that showcase column, and people can click on it, and it'll take them, it'll open an additional tab or whatever, and take them over to that place. So I just clicked over to my own website. That's pretty cool. All right, so let me go back to Q&A in case somebody wants to post something. Everybody's being camera shy, and that's okay. You know, I get that. I've done a few of these live broadcasts, and it's so funny. Even the one broadcast I had, I must have had probably 50 viewers, and like everyone was peeped up. Like they were waiting for the non-specific readings. Like it wasn't like what I'm about to do, a reading not for somebody, but just for whoever out there needs this message. Very, very few people would ever chime in. I get they don't want to be on camera. They know this is going up on the webpage. They don't want to be on the camera. They don't want their voice or whatever. But I'm shocked at how many people are just even too shy to type a question in the Q&A file. That's always been a little funny to me, but I'm a little funny. So I'm going to just do a quick 3-card reading. I'm going to ask, as I always do with this 3-card reading, that not only do I get 3 cards with an appropriate message for whoever needs this message right now, but I also ask that these cards give me an angel number. And my normal rules apply, but I will recite them anyway so the people out there understand. So as I'm doing angel cards, there'll be 3 cards. Each position represents an angel number. So if the cards come out, a 3 of air, a 4 of fire, and a 7 of earth, that will be 3, 4, 7. However, if a major arcana comes out, such as 20, the world, or 21 rather, the world, then we stop right there. If it's the first card, then the number is 21. If it's like the second card and the first number was a 6, well then it's 621. The only time that changes, that is if I get like, I don't know, like a 10, a 9, and a 7, I can't do 1097. So in that case, we drop the 0 and just use the 1. And there's only 10s that would affect it because the rest are page and knight and all that. And they page and knights are blanks. They don't count for anything. So with those intentions set, in the presence of Father, Mother, God, the protection of Christ's white light, and under Archangel Michael's watchful eye, I ask that any messages appropriate for whoever may watch this that need a message, please come forth now. They throw a card at me. Please come forth now and deliver us not any clean, precise, easily translated messages, clearly spoken messages, but messages that are easily received and understood by those who need them. As I already stated, I would like the cards also to give us a proper angel number. It just threw another card at me. Now, normally when this happens, it's funny. Normally when this happens, they go right into the reading, but I have the understanding that those 2 cards they threw at me were for me, and those 2 cards were Awakening, which was, I just shoved it back in. Where'd it go? And then the other one was, Archangel Gabriel, Awakening, number 12, which is also in traditional tarot the Hanged Man, or New Perspective. And then the other one was number 10, Archangel Michael, the Wheel. I'll bring these up real quick. It was all the way to the very bottom card. It's insane. Time of positive change, the Wheel, Archangel Michael. So there are just a couple of things they threw at me. That one and then that was the Awakening. So now on to the real reading here, please. So 3 cards. First card, please. And I'm not setting, let me also set this intention. This isn't any time frame. This isn't like the weekly reading where it's this, this, and that. 3 cards that'll kind of tie together to give us a good reading for someone. Wow. So, right off the bat, we have 2 archangels. And anytime you have two major arcana, it usually means that they're being a key influence into this situation. So I'm just going to look at these cards quickly and try to get because this is all actually one message, but there are different aspects of the same message. Okay, so first card they gave me was number 20, Renewal, Archangel Jeremiel. Now I'm looking at this card in the screen, and to me it looks backwards. I'm hoping when they publish this that it's actually a mirror image, and you will be reading it, and I will also, as I look back at the video, be reading it in the right direction. If not, I may have to look for a setting as to in Google Hangouts how to flip that. I didn't see one because I did already check, because I did notice that before. It's very strange. I don't know why it's giving my mirror image. Anyway, number 20, Major Arcana Renewal, Archangel Jeremiel. Review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts, time to move in a new direction. The next card, which is a card they threw at me once already, was the Wheel, Archangel Michael. A time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. And the last card is Six of Water, also known as Cups. Deals with emotions, things that, emotions, things that are either heartbreaking or exciting or joyful, things that really stir up deep-rooted emotions. Memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. Now, when I look at these cards, it's just holding them. Very much so. Again, it goes back to that other reading that I gave as a general reading. It really ties into that. And that there's some new project, something out there that's developing for you. And as it develops, you're really going to want to sink your teeth into it. And you are going to help catalyze that situation to move forward very, very rapidly. And as it moves forward very, very rapidly, you're going to really just get consumed by it. As we get consumed by things that make us happy and bring us joy, oftentimes that surge of emotions, as it is, will stir up repressed, we'll say, or unprocessed feelings and emotions and issues. So as you go through this time of great joy and you're really getting a chance to express yourself in a way that maybe you've always dreamed of and now you're getting that opportunity, understand there's going to be some things that come up because of that. These things are going to be processed and spewed out because they must. For you must make room for the new if you wish to have new. If you do not get rid of your old, you cannot have the new. So as you restore these feelings and you bring up these feelings and purge these feelings, it is making room for the expansion of the light that is within you. So understand, these are a good thing. You must embrace these feelings, process them, let them flow through you, and then release them from your reality. And as you do this, and you cut those etheric cords, as it were, you will then know fully the release you have experienced and how it will benefit you on a soul level. That was a strong one. So, with that, I've tinkered around here a little bit, and I see people have come and gone. I hope I haven't bored anybody too much. This was a test. I'm pretty confident, and I think the only thing that I need to check on or work out, and I don't think in my interviews it's really going to be relevant unless somebody holds up a book that they've written, is to make sure that as this posts over to the YouTube channel that the mirroring is resolved, that it actually posts it in the proper perspective. And if not, and if I can't find a way to fix that, actually I can check right now. If I cannot find a way to fix that in Google, I am nearly positive I can fix that right within my webcam. Now I just flipped that setting in my webcam settings. I see I certainly look more like myself now. And as you can see, you can read that card now. So I'm going to, as this was an experiment, once this video posts, I'll fast forward to the end and see if one is other than the other. If one switched from the other, or if it was right all along and now I just switched it and now it's backwards. And then I'll reset the settings where they need to be. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for those who did try to join me live or those who joined me live and maybe had a connection issue. I don't know. Everything seemed to be smooth on my end. I won't really know until I watch the video after it posts, because that's when I'll see what you saw. And if I see there's a lot of lag or stutter or whatever, I'll have to make the appropriate corrections to that. Right now I am trying to broadcast in full HD. I may have to tone that down if we did get a lot of lag. But thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching this after the fact if you're watching it as one of my videos. I am very grateful for every one of you who contribute, who comment, who don't contribute. It doesn't matter to me. I am doing this not for fame. I am not doing this for recognition. I am not doing this for, obviously not for money, because you don't have to click on those ads every time you watch one of my videos. I'm doing this because I enjoy doing this, and I am trying to live my sole purpose. And I'm trying to do what brings me joy, and I really do enjoy doing this. And there's days, like I just came here tonight, I still have the rim on my nose from my safety glasses. I literally came in from work, like ran up the steps, shaved, changed my shirt, and sat down here. I mean, I still have my sunglass mark on my nose. So it's, you know, but it's okay. I enjoy doing this, and I love feeling like there's some purpose to it all. And even like that little message I gave there, like it's coming through so much clearer and stronger for me. I don't want to get emotional here, but it really makes me feel incredible that that I've accepted that I can do this, and it's starting to happen more regularly for me. And that's a huge leap for somebody who have always, and I still am, was a skeptical believer. I believed in it all, but I understood that very few who claimed were actually, so to speak. But as the energy is opening, I've been very enlightened to that. Not only is everybody have these abilities, we're not gifted, they're not special abilities. They're innately part of our DNA, just that we've shut them down from not using them, from not needing to use them to survive, and from the programming we've been given that it's evil and everything else, we've grown resistant to it. And I'm very grateful through my journey, which consists of all the people I've mentioned tonight, that I have been able to let down some of that resistance and embrace what I feel to be the truth of the universal God. And I have to say, for anyone out there who is interested in this or enjoys it, but in some way feels like they're maybe betraying their faith or what they were told growing up, I have never felt closer to God than I do now. Jesus is still my man. I have a little higher understanding of Jesus being the Christ, not Jesus Christ. Jesus' name was not the Christ, or was not Christ. He was Jesus the Christ, referring to the Christ consciousness, and he was a master teacher. And things like when he said the way through the Father is through me, was specifically referring, and this is what I've been given in my channelings, specifically was referring to the teachings, the accepting embodiment of the Christ consciousness, the unconditional love, the lack of judgment. All the examples that Jesus set for us was examples for us to follow, and that is how we know the Father. That is how we know heaven. And it's very profound and deep. The more you go into even some of the sermons, Sermon on the Mount, you know, we've put so much stock into Jesus as the man. And as a human being, Jesus was an incredible man. But the authentic Christ goes well beyond that one manifestation of the Christ. It doesn't belittle Jesus, but it gives you the understanding that Jesus is beyond the restrictions and labels that he's been given as a Christian. That he is the Christian, entity that we know as part of the Holy Trinity. So much more. All these beings are incredible divine beings, and they're all of the same energy, and they all consist and make up the same God. And that was what spirituality gave to me, and I suddenly pour my heart out like this, but this is what I'm being moved to do. Almost like a little public service announcement now. Some people may hear this and run the other direction, and that's okay. Not everybody's ready for what I resonate with as truth for me. It may not always be everyone else's truth. but it's more of like a message that as you watch these videos and you see these readings, and whether it be me or the 2,000 other people that do it, never feel like you're betraying your God or whatever deity figure you resonate with, and understand that this is what they want, all of them, regardless of the human names and labels and religions that man has chosen to create and box in for that separation. Understand that we are all loved by the same universal energy. And whether it be Christ or Muhammad or any of the other great prophets to ever step foot on this earth who were master teachers, you take every world religious text and doctrine, and as you read it, you find one commonality, and in that commonality lies the truth. The rest is all fluff. The rest is all man-made, artificial additives, call it what you will. These are the things that were put in by religious leaders and kings and landowners of the time, some as morality code, some as, sanitation code, and others as for control. So I want to thank everyone who I mentioned tonight for helping me open up and lower my resistance. And my message to you all out there is love, unconditional love and peace and non-judgment. Don't be the holy roller Christian that protests at a gay man's wedding, because that puts you in judgment, and the covenant of Christ says thou shalt not judge. So don't claim you're doing God's work and being a Christian if you're out there protesting something or putting condemnation down on someone or another religion or tarot cards or labeling things what they will. And I don't want to take any type of political stance more than I already have here. I don't know. It's something that's been coming up for me a lot. And as we have these more intimate moments, I feel like it's something that I want to share. I'm in my choosing to share. And I hope it doesn't change anyone's opinion of my work or what I'm doing here. If anything, I hope it inspires somebody to let down some of their reservations about exploring outside their box, is all I'm really trying to say. So thank you all so much for letting me come into your hearts and into your energy with these readings each week. And I hope you continue to allow me in. And there are so many great, great people out there doing this stuff. And I know many of you do subscribe to several different people, but I would encourage, if you don't, if I'm one of the first ones you've seen or you resonate with me, surely there are plenty of other readers and spirit workers and angel workers out there that you'll resonate with just as much, because we're all doing the same work. We're all heading to the same end point, and that is lifting up as a global community. The only race that we should be concerned about having a label on is the human race. The only war we should be fighting is with ourselves to break free of the ties that hold us back from realizing our own divinity. And these are the things that I hope to convey and I hope to bring into my work and my reality to share with all you, to help you do the same. So with love and light, I bid you farewell. I thank you for those who joined me. I thank all of you who are watching this after the fact. And I really hope to see more of you. I hope to get more interaction with you, whether it be privately or with posting on the sites. But if you're shy and you don't want to post and you don't want to comment, that's okay too. The fact that you're here watching lets me know that I'm doing something right in service to you. Thank you all again. You all have a blessed day, a blessed night, and a blessed life.